Okay, so here is my newest test. It is the whole chicken wings, like I almost always do now. I don't do drums and flats. I cook them whole because you get more skin and it kind of crisps up better usually. But I'm smoking these, and I'm going to do them at 200 degrees for a while, check temps, and then maybe hit air crisp on them. I'm going to see how they do. I've got the smoker, or I've got the pellets loaded, and here we go. There's what I got in there, by the way. There they are. Now here's what they temp out at, right at 1 hour. That's 163, 164. You could eat them now. In other words, after they rested a little bit, they would be fine. But because I'm doing something new, I want to see if I can crisp them up a little bit. So I'm going to knock that off right there. And I'm going to take it down to air crisp, wherever that is, right there. I'm going to take it to about, I don't know, something I think might crisp it up. We'll do 375. I got it set for 10 minutes. I'm looking for it. I just don't want it to go over, say, 180, 175, 180, which is what like I said, wings work well that temp. But it doesn't hurt them, my opinion. But anyhow, it's preheating. I didn't think about that. In fact, let's don't. We'll add food and get this going, because they're gonna, it's gonna happen. It might take a minute, but it'll get that temp fairly fast. Okay, so you can't play. It means it. There's how much time has elapsed. Not that much, but look, here's what it did. It got them crispy. It brought the skins back. So it started getting hot. Oh, by the way, we'll look. I already kind of looked, but let's see right here. We're 180, and that's exactly what I want. So we're gonna let it sit. Let these sit just a minute, kind of rest, and see what they are like in a few minutes. But you can get an idea right there. They're gonna be good. They're still kind of hot. It's been about 5 minutes. I'm gonna just tear one apart. And probably should back that camera up a little bit. There's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of things I want to say. One is I always buy the whole wing and not the drum and the flat. And that's because there's no reason to. You lose a lot of skin. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. You can see when you buy the drum, they cut it so the fat or the skin draws back. Once you cook it, all you do is this right here. I mean, you can cut them up before you cook them, but then right there is your drum. Now it is. You can see it didn't come across perfect, but it works. And man, that wing is perfect. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to smoke the wing, this might be the ultimate machine. I did use this right here, but it's kind of sophisticated. I've been testing a little bit. I've been using beef tallow and avocado oil, which is my go-to, but I can't hardly tell a difference. The avocado oil, duck fat, Wagyu, any of it seems to work excellent. And you see what the wings look like? Well, let me show you one that ain't broke up. Look. That is an excellent looking wing. I don't know how else to say that, but there you go. A smoked and then air fried wing. Okay, so I decided to just do wings, same setup, salt and pepper, duck fat, the same thing I used on the ones I smoked, except this time, no pellets. Just to see how the same setup will do. Gotta remember what you gotta do. I'm gonna turn it to a smoker. I'm going to take it down to the same setting we had on the ones we smoked, 200 degrees. Here they are, by the way, right there, same 8. Make sure you can see them, but 8 wings. Identical setup. I'm just curious to see how they do. I got to get it to rest in that little notch. There it goes. And here we go. Now, it's going to try it at night, but there's nothing there to at night, but we're doing it. So, be back. All right, I'm not sure where I'm going to put this in the video, but what I'm saying is I think I've already shown how once they're cooked, they're so easy to break in half and make the flats and the drums, and they work real well. I will say one other thing is I think if you start air frying wings whole, you'll see why I do. They just work better. The skin doesn't draw back. But here's the only thing you have to do to a whole wing, or it's all I do. Now you can use that for, you know, I guess you could. I don't, the truth is, but you may think maybe that's a special scissors. Not. This is just another set of scissors I have in my drawer. And I'm gonna do it. You just hit that bone, that joint right there, and you just, you know, you may have to work them a little bit more than you do these, because as you can see, these pop it, you know, they do. But then you can, even if you're going to freeze these, if you don't use them, you want to cut those tips off. In my opinion again. But anyhow, I wanted to show that if you are air frying wings, I think it means more than you might think. But anyhow, okay, so I've let it run about the same amount of time. They're looking a little pale, but that's because they don't have any smoke. Let me get out of the shadow, or get my shadow off of it. There's no smoke, but we're fixing to air fry them. But you know, this renders the fat kind of like another video I have. You're rendering chicken fat. I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna try and go into the technicalities of it. Let's see what we got. 160. That's pretty much perfect. That's almost identical. Now that one's a little hot, but you know, may not be in the coolest part of the wing, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, these will handle more temp than a lot of places, but the 160, that's perfect. And we've rendered fat. That's my whole point. And we're going to air fry now and try and crisp them up. So I'm gonna back this up a little bit, and I'm gonna turn it all the way off. I'm going to take it to air crisp. And I think we did 375 on the others. That's what we're doing now. It's set to 10. There we go. Now I'm gonna cancel that preheat, which all you do is hold down the start-stop button for like 3, I think it is, maybe 5 seconds, 3 or 5 seconds. You just hold it down a few seconds. And now we're off and running. Now I'll be back. All right, we're right at the like 6 minutes I did, and I want to see what they're temping at. And 180, that's perfect, or close enough to perfect. 190, 195 actually, 185. So I'm going to pull them out of there. I'll show you what they look like sitting here in the grill, and you can see they're sizzling up. You could, I'm not going to, because I did the others the same way. You could let those go to 200, but you can see that the fat is doing that rendering thing. And I'm about to pull some of them out, and let's look at them right quick. Let me get one out where I can put it in front of the camera before we do anything special. And that was hot. I let my fingers touch that, but there you go. So I'll see y'all inside. We're gonna let them rest a minute and eat one. Okay. Here are the no smoke wings, and they did excellent. I mean, they really are. I've already ate one, of course, and there's nothing wrong with them. The salt and pepper works well too, but of course, this would be the time you could put this type of stuff on them. But to break off a drum head or a flat, and you can see, I'll show you again right here. You get all that skin. It works. And they don't look bad. Now, they're not smoked. They're not that mahogany color. And I kind of didn't respect that in the beginning, but I do now. I love the smoked ones, but there's nothing wrong with this. You render that out at 200 degrees in the smoke setting without putting pellets in. Worked for me. Anyhow, y'all come back to see me. If you don't mind, I don't never say this, but if you don't mind subscribing, I would like to, before I end, I'd like to see 100 subscribers, and you can like it too if you want to. Love y'all. Come back to see me. Bye.